Hi, everyone. I'm Stephen Edwards, your AI business guy, and welcome to another edition of Expert Advisors, ActionClass Expert Advisors. Today, we're going to be looking at the work of Don Miguel Ruiz. And what we do here, we bring a group of panelists, and we're looking at some business problems we may be experiencing within our group. But the cool part is, through the power of AI, we can bring some of the best experts, the best brains ever known, alive, dead, doesn't really matter. We can bring them into the room with us, and they also become panelists, and they also are giving us advice. The things I'm going to show you today, I work for a company called Simple AI. Our focus is AI in the workplace, and some of the things I'm going to show you today is going to be using some of the tools that I learned by my association with Simple, but it also is tools that I help you build and I train during my black belt training. If anybody has any questions about that, anybody want to reach out to me, discuss any of the programs I may have at any point in time, make a comment. If you drop a comment expert, that would be fantastic as well. Also, along the way, I've got some freebies, some free scholarships that I'm going to be giving away. Those will be flashing across the screen as well. Grab that URL link and go into it, and you'll get yourself a free AI scholarship valued at about $4,000. So anyway, I'm going to start by bringing on my list of panelists today, and as always, I'm going to bring on one by one, and they're going to give them an introduction to the audience. And I'll start with my right-hand man, Michael Copeland.
Hey, everybody. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, I'm excited about this one. I keep hearing people talking about the four agreements. So anyway, my name is Michael Copeland with Stormio AI. Stormio AI is your business operating system of systems. So if you have a business, whether you're a freelancer, solopreneur, or have a brick and mortar, Stormio can help you be more efficient in your life and in business.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you being here today. Next, JC Smith.
Good morning. I am super excited to be here, guys, and talking about the four agreements. I'm JC Smith with HealthWise. We're here to help business owners offer powerful healthcare solutions without spending any more money. And we're about doing some problem solving and asking the right questions to tailor a right solution. And so I look forward to chatting with anyone who's struggling with any of those things. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you, JC. Appreciate you being here and supporting me this effort. Next, I'm going to have Nora Richardson. She is my personal brand strategist. She should be yours as well.
Oh, I don't think I need to say anything more. I'm Nora Richardson. Thank you very much. Thank you. So basically, I help turn wonderful entrepreneurs' brilliance into brands that delight and attract and align and have amazing results. So that's what I do.
Thank you, Nora. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
and not in real estate any longer, but when I was, this next guy was my mortgage guy. Welcome, Rick Melville.
Hey everyone, thanks. Rick Melville, also known as Moby Rick, your mortgage guy. Nora does spot on branding. We do spot on lending. How about that?
I
Woo!
like it.
I stole your
Oh.
thunder, just a little bit.
Mic drop.
But you don't have the polka dots. I'm sorry. You're not the original.
I'm stripes, not polka dots.
Ah,
Stripe on lending. Next is actually has been my mentor for a long time. We're currently working together on a project to help solopreneurs, freelancers, and get a start in their business to see if their business idea is any good. Mr. Steve Gatter.
Why, thank you, Stephen. Hello, Steve. It's a pleasure to be here as always. Sitting through these exercises with you and watching ChatGPT actually come to life for a meaningful purpose is really extraordinary. And every time we do this, I learn something more about it. What you and I are working on is, what if you as a business owner, as a business founder, could have your own personal chatbot to help you mentor and coach you along the way? That's what we're working on. And that's what we're bringing to market soon, right?
Soon, very soon. Michael up there is helping us pull that off.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, last but certainly not least, my friend Sal, and he is a great networker. He's got a fantastic networking group in the Charlotte area, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, good morning, guys. Pleasure to be here. I wish my background was actually where I was, but alas, it's not. So anyhow, I'm Sal Linkorvai. I'm really excited for the talk today. And like Steve said, I own a company group called Network in Action. And I apologize. My phone keeps going off. I'm going to put it on silent. Network in Action Power Team Carolinas. Like Steve said, we bring people together. I consider myself a connector in the area. Have been doing that for about 18 years. So my pleasure to be here, and I look forward to see what everybody else thought of this.
Yeah, and thank you, Sal. You have graciously allowed me to speak to your group a few times, so I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
So let's go over what we're going to, just little ground rules as we, as reminders, what we're trying to do here. We are going to be going through, we're going to be working, our experts are going to be the panelists that just introduced themselves. My AI mentor, Pam, she's everything. She is my personal AI chatbot and pretty much everything to do with either AI or automation in general. I just started calling her Pam. So you'll meet Pam here shortly. Don Miguel Ruiz is our outside expert, and we're going to be concentrating on problems to be solving. We're going to collectively be giving Don some context and data to work with, and we're going to be working through his body of work in most. The single book that we're going to work with the most is called The Four. Help me out, Michael. I'm going blank.
The Four Agreements.
Four Agreements. I've had that on my mind forever, but yet I got tongue-tied. Appreciate that. So as we're going through it, let's start looking in terms of what is our goals that we're trying to achieve now, what are our business obstacles, and what are the next steps in our plan. Somewhere in this discussion may be an answer to one of those questions for you. So let's go over. Let's just get right into it, and let's go meet Pam. So our panelists know this, but those in the outside audience, if you don't know this, I am currently in ChatGPT. This is the paid version, and I use ChatGPT 4.0 most of the time. There are deeper, better reasoning models within the paid model, but for what I do on an everyday basis, Chat 4.0 pretty much gets the job done for me. This is actually a custom GPT that I created. I won't go into the details on how it works or how to put it together, but it is something that I train during the green belt portion of my black belt certification training. So if you have any interest in that, love to discuss it with you. So we're going to get started by just waking Pam up, okay?
Pam is awake.
Pam is awake. So I'm just going to tell Pam, our author is, and the book is The 4 Agreements. Okay. Excellent choice.
Wow,
She is-
excellent choice, man.
Excellent choice. Oh, man. All right, we're going to go off the board. Normally, this is built for personal, individual use. So right now, it's looking that it can tailor the experience if you give it your personal information. I quite often will give it my LinkedIn profile just as an example. You can load it up with any information that you think is relevant, and the better the context, the more she's able to help you. We're going to go off the board just slightly. I added something new, and I'm going to try it on here just a second. And for anybody interested in the audience, I do a coaching session on each one of these books. If you're interested in doing it, normally they're priced at $147. That would include a one-on-one coaching experience with me with this particular book title. And you would get all the outputs from the session, plus you would get this GPT itself so that you can work on it anytime. Current, it's $147 is the price. To anybody who wants it from this session, I will do that session for $97. Thank you. I'm going down here. I'm going to go into Prompt Perfect. If you're not familiar with that, it's just a Chrome extension that goes into pretty much anything that's AI related, including ChatGPT. I have saved this particular prompt, so I don't have to remember again. I'm just going to go back and grab this prompt. I'm going to add it here. But I'm also going to grab some LinkedIn profiles. And Nora was the last minute, not Nora, actually, Rachel was a last minute scratch. I think she's probably mentioned in the, here we go. I'm just going to take her out for the prompt. So we won't pause on Rachel. And let's see what this does, okay?
So what did you just do?
We can look at the
put all of our.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks for asking, Michael, because this will be good. I put all of our LinkedIn profiles on here as attachments, and this is the prompt I gave. Okay. You're working with a group of solopreneurs conducting a self-awareness and growth exercise based on the 4 agreements. This is not a work team. They are networking colleagues and friends who are all solo professionals in different fields. You will apply each of the 4 agreements one at a time. For each agreement, do the following. Begin with the 1-sentence summary of the agreement in plain language. Then go through the exact order of participants. So, Rick, you're going to be up first. I will always be last. For each person, reference them by name, use insights from their uploaded resume LinkedIn to tailor how this agreement applies to their work style, mindset, and business situation. Include 3 labeled sections: what I would do, why I would do it this way, and examples. Does that make sense?
Nice. Yeah.
All right. So let's see what it can do, what it's done. Starting off with you, Rick. I'll let you read it. Let us all read it. See what you think about it.
Interesting. I mean, so this is the first time we've ever done this where we just put all the panelists in. So I think this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's good. We always had just one, and I just felt like everybody else was getting left out during the discussion. Why not just pull everybody into it? So we'll say this is I guess this is the first time it's using it as prototype, but hopefully it does well, and we'll incorporate it to future sessions.
Yeah, I think that's great, especially when we talk about number, I guess, section 1 and section and examples. Yeah, I mean, if by restating the core premise, making everyone's life simpler, I think that'll catch most clients and referral partners' attention, and then reiterating during meetings with the team, like, all right, we're talking about doing X. How does that simplify things? How does it make it smart and on time? Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool.
Simple, smart, on time. I like that. Are you doing a version of this already?
Doing a version of it when I talk to clients and referral partners, but not necessarily reiterating things like that in team meetings, just because my thought process is it should be understood. But then again, I'm dealing with humans, and I'm one. So, one of my big things is to keep meetings short. But this is a good insert at the beginning and a good reminder when someone proposes something like, hey, we should do X. Okay. Is it simple, smart, and on time as it adds value? So this is really cool.
Okay, excellent. Does anybody else have any suggestions for Rick?
No, but I'm curious to see what mine says.
J.C. Smith, you are next.
All right. Using use your client conversations as opportunity to reaffirm their financial clarity and avoid overpromising solutions that may depend on deeper issues. Yes. All right. Got yourself. Oh, I like it. Let's walk through this and design a clear path.
I like that entrepreneurial poverty. That's
that's a really great phrase. Entrepreneurial poverty.
Well, I like that too.
Well, that is what happens. I mean, we see entrepreneurs all the time not being able to put their hands on the capital that they need to run their business. And what most people don't understand when they do try to get money for their business is that it's limited to their personal ability to repay. So they don't know that. And this is, it looks like it's pulling from the business credit side of what we do for business owners. So it's great. Absolutely great.
I read it somewhat differently. Like entrepreneurial poverty, I think, is also an unwillingness to focus on what's going to 5x or 10x your business and focus on just the, it's easy to do these 3 things instead of focusing on the really hard thing. So the analogy I would use is if you're trying to get monkeys to juggle chainsaws on a pedestal, hear me out on this. Don't spend your time building pedestals. Spend your time teaching the monkeys to juggle chainsaws. You can build the pedestals any freaking time.
Yeah.
But most people, I catch myself in this loop too, start spending time building pedestals. Because teaching monkeys how to juggle chainsaws is hard. So that's how I view entrepreneurial poverty, is that people focus on, I've got to do these tasks. Like that task isn't going to move the needle.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and put the one thing plug into this, that they're not concentrating on their one thing. They're concentrating on the 80%, not the 20% that's going to move the needle.
Yeah, juggle the chainsaw.
Yeah, I mean, based on what Rick was saying, like I've done the same thing. Like I've focused on the pillars. Well, man, I got to build this thing. I got to do these other things. I got to do all this kind of stuff. And just over the last 14 days, 2 weeks, I've kind of came to this realization, like, I don't even think that way anymore. I'm like, it was a self-limiting belief, and when you have that, and as an entrepreneur, you literally have entrepreneurial poverty. Like some people have entrepreneurial seizures. I don't know if you remember that from E-Myth, the E-Myth with Michael E. Gerber. But entrepreneurial poverty, I haven't heard that before. And the 2 different contexts that we're talking about it, I think is great. That is a great, it's mindset right there. That's it. I love it.
And Michael, we haven't personally talked about it, but I have noticed that you seem to be refocused on what you're doing. So I applaud that effort.
Yeah.
All
Wait
right.
till
Now,
you'll see what's going on. What I got cooking.
well, speaking of Michael, let's work with you.
Oh man, let's see. I'm just going to read it out loud. Commit to a data-backed language in marketing. Say only what's measurable and avoid hype terms that don't align with your integrity-driven branding. I'm glad that it understands integrity-driven branding. Like, yeah, anyway, you're deeply invested in efficiency, results, and measurable growth. Wow. I think I need to drink more coffee. I can't even read the word growth there. By
Michael is on the West Coast,
language, you increase trust with clients who expect precision and professionalism. Testimonials that cite numbers, 25% more leads instead of vague praise. I mean, I agree with that. The only reason why I normally don't do like income claims and that sort of thing is because all of the documentation you need for the FCC compliance for that kind of stuff, I don't know. I just don't do it. Because if somebody says, oh yeah, he helped me get 25% more revenue, well, that person that said that has to have that be an auditable proof.
Right.
So I just don't do it. But I think this is like really pulling. It's very interesting that it pulled, integrity driven and data and all that kind of stuff. It's like I didn't think that I updated my LinkedIn profile to talk about that, but I guess I do. I guess it does pick it up.
That last quote at the end, Michael, I've heard you say a version of that many, many times. Here's what the data shows, and here's my honest take. I've heard you discuss that with me many times. Let's go look at the numbers. You would tell me, right?
I mean, that's true. To me, like I might make the most prettiest and sexiest, most amazing looking landing page ever seen to any person ever in the world. But that doesn't matter. What matters is the numbers. So, and sometimes the ugly page wins, and you just got to put that one. You got to put that one to bed. Save it because you might want to use it again. But yeah, it's really all about the numbers for me.
I think too, it's important to when you're doing projects in particular is to kind of have a lay out what the expectations are going to be, because you don't want to get into it. And if your question is, was this a successful project or not, you got to have something to measure against it to be able to determine that. So put those expectations up front. And did you meet those expectations?
Yeah, here's what the data shows. I love to do A/B split testing all the time. Well, the one that we thought was going to be an awesome landing page, actually, we had more conversions on this other one. So, yeah, this is great.
Okay.
I like it.
Thank you, Michael. Nora, you're coming up next.
Align your brand messaging. Align your brand messaging strictly with what? Oh man, I can't read.
She needs coffee too.
Somebody else read this. All right. Align your brand messaging strictly with what your clients can actually expect, especially when positioning transformation or ROI. As a brand strategist, your word is your promise. By being precise and authentic in your language, you differentiate yourself from overhyped competitors and build lasting brand equity. Use case study language like after 42 days or within 3 months instead of general success claims. Revise tagline copy to explicitly tie benefits to strategy, branding that converts clarity into cash.
I like that. What do you think about that, Nora?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Honestly, okay. I'll process it.
Okay.
I mean, this isn't. I haven't updated. If you're gonna keep doing this with our LinkedIn profiles. You're going to force me to update my
Well,
profile.
that's one of the, yeah, that's the side effect. Exactly.
So I'm like, well, I don't even know what my profile says at this moment in time. So it's a possibility this is accurate, but not current.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. People, we're giving LinkedIn profiles, and if it's not accurate and up to date, your LinkedIn profiles where other people are going to check you out. So Pam may give you the advice. Step one, go update your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, that should have probably been it. Hey, you haven't done this in about 15 years.
Okay.
We are live on LinkedIn, so
Okay. Yeah. There we go. So LinkedIn is our sponsor. So I can't say enough good things about LinkedIn. All right, we'll come back to you, Nora. Maybe we'll get you on the next idea. Okay.
Thank you.
Sal.
What I would do: start your networking sessions with a shared statement about authentic connections, setting the tone that words in your group mean something. Why I would do it this way: you thrive in environments that blend sales with integrity. Setting verbal tone early empowers your members to model authentic engagement. And some examples: use pre-record kickoff phrase like in NIA. Wow, this is a tongue twister. Our word is our bond to open meetings. Coach members to give pitches that end with "Here's the real impact I aim to have." Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, it's the general gist. I definitely do agree with thrive in environments that blend sales with integrity. If I don't think people have the integrity that align with me, then I really don't want them
Sure.
around me. So that's definitely what I try to get people to do. And verbal tone that empowers your members, absolutely. I'm sure Nora would think the exact same thing, that empowering your people, telling them to have confidence in what they sell and their brand, because if they don't, no one else will either.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-kickoff phrase like I couldn't do that because I wouldn't be able to get out of my mouth. Yeah, I mean, I probably should start, since I have really been focusing on my branding as opposed to just throwing everything out there, which I always preach not to do. Do something like that just as an opening. I try to keep everything positive, but that's a great idea.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Can everybody see? Do I need to make this larger?
I can see it.
You can see it. Everybody can see it. People were having trouble reading. I didn't know if it was too small.
We have a comment. We have a comment from Facebook.
No. All right. You want to throw it up on the screen?
There we go. From JC Smith.
From JC Smith.
Learning that it's important that our LinkedIn profile is up to date.
All right. Thanks for the jab, JC. Thanks.
Wait. You know what? I did that in my. I'm live in one of my Facebook groups with this, and I made that comment in there for my Facebook group. I didn't know it was going to show up here. That's hilarious.
Well, it doesn't have to, but Michael was kind enough to pull us on. Yeah. All right, perfect. Well, we'll move on. Where's Mr. Gatter? What?
Oh no.
Where is Mr. Gatter? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, something happened with the prompt and he did not get in.
Maybe we'll have to get you next time. Unless it combines the Steves together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just replace Edwards with Gatter and just do that. They're almost the same anyway, right?
Yeah. Steve, I apologize. I'm not going to be able to fix it on the fly, but I'll fix it for next time. You're off the hook today.
I got it. No worries.
All right, let's talk about me then. Integrate a language audit into your AI strategy workshops to ensure participants' communications align with their values and business model. Why I would do it this way: you're an optimization strategist. Impeccable language is a system upgrade, bringing clarity, efficiency, and trust into leadership communications. Examples: encourage clients to test their mission statements with AI for tone accuracy, and your LinkedIn post with questions like, does this align with your impact promise? That's a good idea. Sometimes I will randomly pick people's LinkedIn profiles, or maybe even go onto their websites and have Pam interpret their website and send that back to them. I said, this is what AI says about your website. Is that what you want your website to say? And sometimes it's eye-opening. Sometimes they say, yeah, she got it. It's spot on. It's exactly what I wanted. Man, I feel bad that Mr. Gatter is left out of this. You can comment on everybody else's instead.
He's perfectly fine.
All right. Let's move on to this. Everybody ready to move on to the second agreement?
The second agreement. Well, maybe the first agreement, maybe he was so good there. Maybe he only has to do the second agreement. We'll see.
Maybe
We'll find out.
Yes. I didn't get that.
And
Yeah,
it
maybe he
didn't
was
matter.
so good that Pam had no suggestions, or Don didn't have any suggestions for you, Steve. All
Don't
right.
take anything personally.
Other people's words and actions are about them, not you. Let go of the need to internalize blame, criticism, or praise. None of it defines your worth. Would you mostly agree or mostly disagree with this? Strongly agree, mostly agree, disagree, strongly disagree.
I mean, unless somebody says something personal at me, I try not to take things too personal.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I do is I critique people's websites, and I do constructive criticism, and I have a disclaimer because I'm blunt. I don't sugarcoat anything, and I have this disclaimer. I say, if you take constructive criticism personally, this is not for you. We have a person that has a question they asked.
All right. Okay.
It's Rosk to the rescue, Feldman. And he says, which streaming platform are you using? We're using StreamYard. So we're able to bring people in and do banners and bring comments in and stuff like that. So
actually, Michael, how I actually state that, what you said about you give constructive criticism, how I say is that everything that I am telling you is what you have paid me to do. So if I actually did not tell you what hurts, you would actually think everything was okay, and you would have nothing to fix or improve. And then you'd blame me, right? So basically, so that's how I state it to people, so that they say, this is what you're paying me for. You're paying me for my expertise in this. And so sometimes it's not going to be something that you like, but there's always a plan to move forward.
Bam.
Yeah, my when I was coaching real estate agents, we would have a phrase that, hey, I can be your coach or I can be your friend. Sometimes I can't be both at the same time. You're paying me to be a coach. Is that okay? I'm going to give you my coach's word. Yeah. Let's take a look at this though again, because don't take anything personally. We've all been talking about our outbound words, but really this is about the inbound words to us. How do you feel about that?
I had a mastermind group meeting last night, and I talked. One of the things that I said that I was talking about was what you speak is what you say is like very important. I got into like the Bible and stuff like that as well, but what you say to yourself is you create your reality based on the words that you say.
Yeah.
Like the words that you hear yourself say have a lot to do with who you are and how you are.
it's that self-talk. Sometimes we say terrible things to ourselves in our mind that we would never say to anybody else.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And upon receiving things so they're not too personal to you, I always try to ask for clarification, saying,
Mhm.
okay, here's what I'm hearing. What exactly are you trying to say to me? Because
Yeah.
this is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And so try to take the feelings out of things whenever I can. I'm not perfect at that. I'm still working. It's a process, but there are certain people that I'm very good at asking that with
Mhm.
clients and professional regards. And my husband, I'm really good with him. Other friends, maybe not as much.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
So Nora uses one of Stephen Covey's habits, 7 habits, is seek first to understand, then to be understood. So help me understand what you're saying. Here's what I think you're saying. Is that right, Nora? Kind of, sort of?
That's exactly right. I do that, especially with my clients, because you when you're doing branding, you want to, well, at least my mind goes wild and seeing all the possibilities. And then basically I've like saying, hold on, time out, Nora. That's your ideas of what this brand could be. Let me make sure I understand what they are trying to convey. And so that actually helps, me figure out the right amazing millions of ideas to actually focus on. So I always try to make sure that. But anyway.
And my personal experience in working with you, Nora, is you do a great job in that regard. You really do try and understand where my mind is at and what I'm trying. And I'm not real great at my words, but you do a great job of drawing my inner thoughts out. So I appreciate that, Nora.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, let's get down. Let's go to Mr. Rick. Rick, you probably get a lot of this. I know you get a lot of upset people in your life, most likely.
Yeah, the pausing before reacting is really critical. Usually, little tip: before I have a client Zoom or phone call that I have scheduled, I do like a 2 or 3 minute meditation just to make sure I get the breathing and heart rate where I want them. Not that I'm preparing for a fight, but in the current mortgage and real estate environment, people are pretty emotional and reactive. So, yeah, that's
a great idea. That's one we could all probably apply in our lives.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I have something, I just book 5 minutes before the call. I block the calendar, or 5 minutes before the Zoom or whatever it might be. Because one of the worst things you can do is, take the frustration from one conversation or meeting into the next.
Mm-hmm.
And then post-meeting ritual, I do a follow-up email with the client. Say, hey, we covered these 3 things. These are our next steps. Make sure we're clear on this. This is the way I heard it. This is the way I understood it. Let me know if I missed something. Very possible. I'm human.
So let me
I
ask you
actually do something like that myself. I literally send, I call it the understanding email. And so we're all on the same page, and if we need to go back and forth, then like that's literally my sales process. We meet and I have this understanding email. So I think that's good. But what you said, like take a breath before you react, I definitely need to work on that more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple
Maybe
of
it'll
things.
tell me.
There's a couple of things you can do before, like every once in a while, I'll be like, people are people. Every once in a while, I'll get mad because somebody was really not being nice, and I might have to mute my microphone and then sneeze, even though I don't have to sneeze. Say, excuse me for a moment, and I literally fake a sneeze, Um, all right, now I'm back. I'm not kidding. It's a bit of a ruse, but it gives me the chance to just be like, all right, this guy's a jackass. Don't respond. He's looking for a fight.
What that also does is it introduces silence to the conversation.
Yeah.
And silence is a powerful tool.
Yes.
Yeah, and you just took your power back too by forcing that silence.
Yep.
It's really hard to do, though. Really hard, I think.
No, I agree.
You want to fill that space with something,
That's why
just
they
like
say,
I'm doing now.
yeah.
Right.
They always say those who speak lose.
That's right. Those who speak first are the losers. Usually. Yeah. Very good, Rick. Let's move on. Let's go on to JC.
All right. When clients resist financial coaching or blames you for cash flow issues, use that as a moment to cue to re-anchor the conversation to process, not personal failure. Yeah, I just let those people go. Sorry.
That's the right thing to do.
They're not wanting any help.
No. I mean, what's the answer to the question, who wins an argument? Nobody.
No one arguing.
Nobody
Yeah.
wins an argument. So why even get into one?
I don't work with people like that. I just say
me
this is
neither.
probably just not for you at this time. I don't want to re-anchor them. I'm just being honest. You guide clients through vulnerable financial territory, staying grounded when they deflect emotional reserves, preserves your role as a trusted, unshakable strategist. Let's put the emotion aside and look at the numbers together. Remind them, I guess I have done that in the past. But I think with me, understanding what they want out of it before we ever start is the number one issue. If I have to, if my grandpa used to tell me all the time, honey, it's easier to pull a rope than push one uphill. You can't push the rope uphill. So you got to decide which way the rope's being pulled and pushed. So, yeah.
So this whole conversation so far has been all about getting the emotion out of the way. So now tell me again, is the purchase decision emotional or logical?
It's both.
No,
It's not logical for most people.
It's logical. That's what we've been talking about. It's all about logic.
You think
It's
so?
not.
It's not.
Well, the last three conversations, we've all said it has been.
What we're talking about is taking the emotion away from it, because most people focus on the emotion. So that's how they're going to make a lot of decisions. Because just like in Thinking Fast and Slow, when Kahneman's talking about using system 1 versus system 2, most people are not rational. That's why you have to be the rational one.
So you have to take the emotion out of it.
Exactly.
Therefore, it's logical.
Okay.
The only way you can take emotion out of it is to replace it with something else.
So you're being the logic. You're the one bringing logic to the table in that case.
And it's not true in
marketing.
I mean, that's the bottom line here is it's never true with every situation. But
it depends.
we think about our own situation and whatever it is we're trying to convey to a client, we've got to decide whether we're playing the logical card or the emotional card.
Well, when it comes to like marketing, when it gets to as you're like writing copy or doing a presentation or something like that, you have to hit both sides, because people decide emotionally and they buy logically.
No.
You don't think so, Steve?
No. I mean, that's true with some people, but it's not true with all. And it all depends upon your audience.
Yeah.
Who you're talking to. And that's what we got to recognize. We have to respect the audience. It's not what we want to do, and it's not trying to answer a generic question.
Mm-hmm.
It's who is our client that we're talking to? And what is our value proposition really? And, go back to the numbers. And Michael, you were talking about, show me the numbers and let's make a decision. I think Oh, yeah, that's a logical decision.
That's logical. Yeah.
Yeah, but buying is emotional because they have to see in their mind what that purchase is going to. They have to see themselves with that purchase,
The
and
key
that's
word
emotional.
the key word in that sentence is the word they. Who is they? There's
Exactly.
no such thing as everybody. There's no such thing as them. There's somebody.
Yeah.
And my dad was very, very different than my mom. And when I wanted to get something that I wanted, I approached it in two different ways.
Sounds like emotional
So did you.
manipulation.
So explain. Who
Well,
used
we
logic?
actually have like less than 15 minutes, so we should probably
Move along.
keep
Yes.
going.
Okay. All right. Let's move along. Very good, Steve. I appreciate that input. All right, Michael
it's
Copeland,
me.
you're up. Yeah. That's why you want to move along. You wanted to get to you.
Yeah, maybe.
It's all about you, Michael.
Let's see. Set firm boundaries with feedback. I think I do need to do that more, to be honest. Separate your identity from your work. Okay. Hold on. Sorry. As someone passionate about results and constant improvement, you're prone to internalizing critiques.
Wow.
Very interesting.
What they said.
This
what I
is
heard,
kind of
what
like
they-
focusing me to like think and not fill the gap of not just talk to talk, like take the time to answer.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like reflect and see. You know what? You can go on to the next thing. I got something's going on over here.
Okay. All right. We'll move along then. Nora, you're up next.
All right. View rejection or critique of branding ideas as a reflection of the client's fears or vision gaps, not of your ability or creativity. Okay. Yeah. You're highly, basically, I always say that it's their brand, it's not mine. So you say whatever they want because it's not my feelings that they're hurting. They're not hurting me. They're only hurting their brand if they're not doing something that's honoring them and their vision and what they're trying to do. So I always take me out of the equation. Sometimes I have to do it several times within a conversation when we're going through things. That's all right. Highly intuitive and visionary. Rejection can feel personal sometimes, but I'm good with that. By seeing others' responses as windows into their own journey, you stay empowered and client-centered. Absolutely. When a client says, this doesn't feel right, ask what emotions do you want your brand to evoke instead. This transforms pushback into co-creation. I have better ways of doing that, but yeah, I do these things. So
What are your better ways? Give me an example of your better way.
Oh, I can't. You're my client. I can't give you
Oh,
secrets.
you did.
I want her to tell all the secrets.
Please tell. Please tell.
I've been played, I think.
But yes, actually, it's very good. This one speaks to me. The other one just didn't speak to me, but it's probably because that's the one I'm not comfortable with, and I need to do. And this is just saying, yeah, this is me. Okay, this is cool.
Okay.
So I'll have to look at that other one, that first one more, so that I can actually potentially do what it says, because this one is spot on.
Perfect. Thank you, Nora. Mr. Salb.
What do I do? Teach your clients, networking clients to equate silence or non-referrals with failure. Wow. Okay.
It's often about timing or fit, not their worth. I think that's
Yeah,
true.
I
Right?
do agree with that. I was thinking the equate silence or non-referrals with failure. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I mean,
Well, it says not to. You
oh,
don't want them to.
sorry,
Yeah.
even with my glasses, I can't read. Got it. My eyes in the computer screen don't seem to be cooperating lately. So why I would do it this way? Your approach is relationship first model, attachment from personal rejection. Yeah, I think that's true. I agree with that. I mean, I am very big on building relationships. It's harder for some businesses than others. I mean, JC's kind of can build a relationship, but it can be more transactional than what Nora does, because Nora is definitely relationship driven. So I think it's important, but sometimes you can't wait a year or two to use it if you're trying to build that relationship. So, but yeah, I definitely, because I do definitely see that.
Yeah.
And then metaphors, coach plan. Yeah.
Plant the seed, don't demand the harvest. I like that. Plant the seed, don't demand the harvest.
Yeah. And I always like to use, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So, yeah.
All right. I will go next. What I would do, frame AI resistance or skepticism from clients as their discomfort with change, not a reflection on your expertise. It's true.
Yeah.
Why I would do it this way, you're an innovator bringing radical ideas to traditional spaces. By personalizing resistance, you risk muting your edge. Okay, true. When someone doubts AI role, asks, what's your biggest fear about letting technology help you? This centers their voice while keeping your leadership intact.
Man, that's
I think I've become such a AI fanatical that sometimes I push the boundaries a little bit. I get somewhat defensive if people don't want to even consider AI as a possibility.
I mean, I remember when you told me to, you should be using AI every day. And I'm like, and it's weird because like I have Stormio AI, right? But
Yeah.
But with all of these AI features that we have inside Stormio, I have a friend of mine that's like, I'm trying to help you sell like the AI, voice calling and all this stuff. And I'm like, you can't go to a plumber and say, hey man, do you want a AI receptionist to answer your phone? They don't even, no, they don't. They don't even know what AI is. So, I mean, there is a lot of resistance. And just that question right there, what's your biggest fear about letting technology help you? Like, that's a great question.
It is a great question.
I try to downplay the technology piece of it altogether because I don't think it's a true technology issue. It's a more of a psychological issue on allowing these innovations to coexist with you, to be your collaborator. I think most people hear it and they say, you just want me to give my entire world up to AI, and there's no way that AI can do the job a human can do. But that's not what I'm preaching. I only want to enhance humans in what they do. There's just certain things that AI will never be able to do. It doesn't have sensitivity. It doesn't have all these things that human had. It doesn't have the human touch. So I will say that AI should never operate without humans. But I also say,
my AI Max apologizes to me on a regular basis. It's very feeling.
Yeah. Well, it will tell you that here's the difference. AI will tell you things that seem sensitive in nature, but it doesn't understand why it told you those things. So even though Pam is very, great choice, Stephen, it will tell me those things, but she doesn't understand why she's telling me those things.
And I've actually changed mine to not apologize anymore because I've told it I'm tired of it. So it no longer apologizes.
From a branding perspective, oh, I'm sorry, Sal. Were
No,
you?
you're-
Were
No,
you?
go ahead. No, I'm good.
I didn't mean to.
You're
to
fine.
Ben. But from a branding perspective, if we really think about this, is that our jobs in the next year to 10 years is to actually brand ourselves to be more human and figure out what those human aspects that we bring to the table that AI isn't actually doing or can't actually do to for us as entrepreneurs in the future, so that AI doesn't encroach in what we're doing and how we're doing it. That it is a tool to help us, but not to replace us. And so, but that's going to be on our parts to actually brand ourselves, understanding what our differentiators are, and be able to explain that clearly.
Yeah, eventually everybody's going to have these AI tools that they're used, so it's going to be more important than ever. If everybody's using the same tool, then how are you unique? So I think it's very important that you're going to have to be able to still differentiate yourself, and it's not going to be the AI tool part of it. It's going to be you personally that you have to differentiate yourself.
That and personally, as well as what you actually do, because right now a lot of the things that entrepreneurs do, AI can easily replace. So we've got to figure out what exactly do we do, what do we offer that AI can't actually offer quicker, cheaper, better,
faster.
So
Easier.
on that note, AI is building the pedestals. You, the entrepreneur, have to figure out how to get the
Beautiful.
monkeys to juggle the chainsaws.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
And everybody's going to have the pedestals built because we'll all have AI.
Yeah. So I will say this, that my words are that AI should never operate without humans. It's a coordinated effort. But I also, at this day and age, say humans should never operate without AI either.
I would agree with that. Like if I'm going to hire somebody to do anything, well, not put pavers in my backyard, but well, actually maybe, but if you're not if you're not an AI enabled employee, whoever's going to hire for that position is going to hire the person that's AI enabled. It's just because they're just going to be able to do more work than a non-AI enabled employee. That's what's happening in the job market now.
And Steve, I remember you mentioning this. I don't remember. I know you and I talked about it personally, but I think you had a outbound message somewhere along the way about AI that very soon, if you're not using AI, it can be considered professional malpractice not to use.
Well, you're the one that gave that statement to me, and
Okay.
that was the statement.
Well, by God, it must be true then.
That was, honest to God, the statement that caused me to realize I better learn this tool, because I think you're exactly right.
Yeah. I thought I got it from you. You got it from me. Well, there you go.
Of all the knowledge in the world, what percentage do you have?
Very, very
It
tiny.
ain't much.
It ain't much.
It ain't much. And if you're going to pass yourself off as an expert to somebody, prove it.
Yeah. So what was that again? Professional malpractice? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow. I like that.
Yeah. So we are at the top of the hour. Any last comments? We only got through 2 of these. I will be glad with our panelists to take you through the rest of this. either as a group or one by one. That's perfectly fine. Anybody out there in the audience, like I said, if you want to go through this with me, or any other, I have a whole inventory of expert advisors. We could pick one that resonates with you the most and go through it together. Just let me know. Be glad to do that. Anybody from our panelists, any last comments? Anything that you want to offer to our audience?
Well, I can say that when I have gone through these different exercises with you, it's been, I mean, eye-opening is not the word. It's and to say life-changing sounds very cliche, but it really is. Like, man, especially the Brene Brown one was like, I was even like, dang, Brene Brown, you're asking these questions. Like, wow. Like, really making me dig deep into my mind. You know, like it's like every time we do an exercise, or if we're doing it one-on-one, it's invaluable. The exercise, invaluable, especially when you get through when you get through the whole thing, and then there's more at the bottom. There's more after these 4 things. So it's so powerful.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that comment. Anyone else have any final words?
I think that's anybody that liked what they saw here and would like to have the 4 agreements applied to them. They should take you up on that.
Well, thank you, Nora. I appreciate that.
$97 deal, because that's a steal.
That is a steal.
And you get Don Miguel Ruiz as a bot. So absolutely, they need it.
Okay. Thank you, Nora. I appreciate that. Well, on that note, I guess I will say goodbye to everyone, and hope to see you. We do these once a week, first Monday of the month. I'm going to be doing something AI related every Monday of the month at the same time frame between 10 and 11. Doing the expert advisors just once a month now instead of twice a month. But be on the lookout. I do have something coming up next week. It is the AI performance workshop, and hope to see you there. Some great stuff. All right, everyone. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon. Take care.